Hi there, my name is Phil Beck and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share and subscribe and ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop. And it never fails. It never, ever freaking fails. And it amazes me. I'm nearly 50. And every time I say it, it amazes me still that when somebody is not a very nice person, if somebody is like nasty to you in a specific way, the thing they can't stand, the thing they hate more than anything else, is somebody doing to them what they did to others. And you know, I've seen it time and time again, and it always like flabbergasts me how that happens. Because you figure if somebody's going to be like horrible to you in this specific way, you must think they have some kind of mechanism in their head that makes it okay to be horrible in that way. Meaning, if somebody's horrible to them, they're like, blow it off. But no, they have such incredible sensitivity around the thing that they do. So, you know, listen, this is a basic rule of Judeo-Christian religions. I think basic rule of all decent people in the world. Don't do to others what you would not like done to you. Don't do to others what you would not like done to you. And again, I'm not being religious. I'm just saying that's pretty good advice. And wouldn't it be a wonderful world if we lived that way? Okay, so let me give you a little bit of a potted history. The comic book industry recently ended. It recently ended for many reasons. The final nail was the current global situation. The comic book stores closed because they can't be open. They're not an essential service, which I would argue with. But comic book stores closed, which had the knock-on effect that the only distributor they were a monopoly just because nobody else wanted to do this job. Diamond forcing them out of operation, which means they couldn't pay their vendors. The publishers then turned to the people making the comics and said, "Pencils down. Nobody draw anything. We can't afford anything. We are done. In that page you're on, that's your last one. Pencils down, everyone." So, that's what happened. So, the comic book industry has been nearly dead for many years for other reasons. So, which we're going to be talking about right now, which set the stages. But before we get there, if you like your independent voices here on YouTube, or if you just like me, or even if you dislike me, or let's say any combination of any circumstance whatsoever, can you hit the subscribe button? That would be fan-freaking-tastic. Thank you so much. I am genuinely very grateful for each and every one of you that subscribe. I really am. It's really kind of pathetic, but I really genuinely am very, very grateful. I give stuff away each week on this channel to show you my gratitude. What I'm giving away this week is fan-freaking-tastic, okay? And if I say so myself, but it really is good. It is the Alien Quadrology. It's a freaking massive DVD, 9-disc DVD set covering everything about the Alien movies. So you've got Alien, Aliens, Alien Resurrection, and Alien, the one with Winona Ryder. Plus, you got 2 discs on each one. Tons. So you have theatrical versions. You have director's cut. The director's cut of Alien 3 is a totally different movie and actually a really good one. And a whole disc of bonus stuff. So all you need to do to win this, is subscribe to the channel. Subscribing being very, very important from my perspective. So subscribe to the channel and then leave the hashtag at Xenomorph. Go and check the video notes. It will give you all the information you need. Also, there's a Doctor Who story you can download from the mid-80s starring Nicholas Briggs as the Doctor. That's just for everyone. Now, subscribed or not, but yeah, if you can hit subscribe, that'd be great. Also, can you hit that like button? Go and hit that like button now, and if you want to hit the share button as well, fan dabby double dozy. Thank you very much. So anyway, the comic industry was was an early victim of the global situation, but it was crushed to its knees beforehand. Actually, which reflects one of my favorite comics. Have you ever read Sandman? Sandman starts off where he gets captured for like 100 years. He's this ethereal being, and recently they did this book. A few years ago, they did a prequel book which showed how he was very debilitated before that happened at the start of the series, explaining how he was captured because he was like crushed, and he was on his knees at the time anyway, which is essentially what the comic book industry was then. Before this the global situation. Essentially what happened is the the comic book industry was I was going to say invaded, but not really so much. They were invaded in the same way Austria was invaded by Germany in the Second World War. You know, Austria was invaded by Germany, but the Austrians were like, "Hey, well, welcome home, brother!" You know, to the I can't say the name of the people, the naughty people from Germany in the 1930s. They were very much like, so it wasn't so much an invasion. They were pretty most half of them were completely on board with it. So the comic industry was invaded in the same way by the blue the blue checkmark Twitter Taliban. You know, the insane people who were like Lucas and destroy everything they touch. So yeah. So and they and those people, they really don't like like white middle-aged men. They really don't like those people. Which is a bit of a problem because that was your target demographic for the comic. So they decided to write comics that those people would not want in a million years, and that's why the sales went down. Comic book stores have been closing, and then to add into this, the comic book stores they've been making comic books that are repellent to comic book writing. They're like utterly repellent. So but then the publishers don't stand by them financially. They make the comic book stores stand by them financially because they're the ones who've got to swallow the loss. Yeah, because these things are not returnable. So anyway. While all this was going on, there was a group of people who were not part of the blue checkmark Twitter Taliban, who who just wanted to live normal lives and carry on making comics. But they said, "No, you must leave, and we're going to attack you. We're going to call you, we're going to call you racist. We're going to call you sexist. We're going to call you istophobe. We're going to call you every name possible, and we're going to have a targeted hate campaign towards you. We're going to make it impossible for you to be able to make a living making comics in this profession that you've worked in all your life." And as an aside, we do hope that you are unemployable, you starve to death, and you die. Yeah, it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but no, that's really genuinely what happened. So front and center of these hate campaigns was a gentleman called Rich Johnson. Rich Johnson has a website called Bleeding Cool. So he is to that group of people what Goebbels was to the naughty people from Germany in the 1930s. Yeah, he was their propaganda arm. So when the group of people, they banded together, they formed a thing called Comicsgate, where they make just very, very good comics that don't insult the reader. Which is what these comic book writers and artists were doing. They were just like going on Twitter saying, just attacking their audience. So they make like just fun, entertaining comics. So one of the leaders of this movement is a man called Ethan Van Sciver. Very, very funny guy. He's got a great YouTube channel. I follow him. I listen to him all the time. So that happened. So when these pencils down emails went out to the blue checkmark Twitter Taliban that have again ran directed hatred campaigns towards people to force them out of the industry, so they are unemployable and they can't feed themselves and they die in a gutter. Yeah. So when those people started getting the pencils down emails, Ethan Van Sciver was a little bit jubilant about it. So it's incredible. You can actually count the go through the stages of grief. First when this went down, first you had denial. They said, "No, everything's fine. It's going to be a 2-week vacation. Then we're going to be back at work." Babe. No, that's not happening because the comic book stores have been so beaten down. They don't have 2 weeks of non-income. That's not survivable for them because you've given them this unsellable crap. And in an act of sheer brilliance, both Marvel and DC held hands together over the last couple of weeks and jumped off a cliff together as they produced and they trumpeted more unsellable product that the comic book stores would then have to sell. But they're not around anymore, so guess who's got to put up the cost for it now? Marvel and DC. So I reckon those things are going to soon go by the wayside because they're just not going to be viable anymore. So Marvel put out this thing called New Warriors, which had Snowflake and Safe Space. It was so unbelievably bad. And DC put out this thing called Gotham High, which had Chinese Batman, because Batman's rich and Chinese people are rich, and in the mind of the insane writer of it. And Alfred was his gay uncle. Just unsellable, just totally, unsellable stuff. And then DC when they put out the trailer for this, they had I think they put one of the worst trailers you've ever seen in your life. It got like 22,000 downvotes and maybe 1,000 upvotes. Yeah, they end up turning the comments off. They turn the comment section off. Just basically saying, "Shut up! Oh, don't! We know! We're stuck with it! Ah!" Yeah, that's essentially what they said. So somebody else goes, "Shut up! Don't tell me." Is Rich Johnson. He is not a happy camper today. So again, first you had denial. Denial was an easy one because they've been in denial for years. They've been saying right up until 2 weeks ago, it's the bestest time ever in comics. Comics is so good, it's never gonna die. Oh, the industry is so great. And what happened is they inflated the numbers. And they just said, "Look at these inflated numbers, aren't they great?" Yeah, it's like Doctor Who fans did when the new Doctor Who took over, Jodie Whittaker, who was legitimately awful, but everybody tuned in the first week to see what she was like, and they clung on to that high viewing figure and used it as a series average, and now finally the metrics are those ones they got hype on, and funnily enough they're all saying, "Oh, the ratings don't matter." So it's basically the same thing over here. Rich Johnson, he's not a happy camp. So they had denial. Oh yeah, so they've been in denial. They've been said they had incredibly high sales. No, they haven't had high sales. They sell things to librarians now because librarians are also in the blue checkmark Twitter Taliban, and they see on their order forms, "Oh look, Gay Wolverine, I better order 20 copies." Nobody's ever going to read it, okay? The comic book reader is never going to read it. But yeah, they found the right person to sell. So, they also did a lot of other disingenuous stuff. They added in manga. They added in Ethan Van Sciver's book, the crowdsourced books as well, which they've been selling, even though they kept saying it wasn't comic for years and years, as part of their directed hate campaign. Led by a gentleman called Rich Johnson. I just want to keep reminding you that there was a directed hate campaign, not led by, but central to that was a gentleman by the name of Rich Johnson in his website, Bleeding Cool, which was a propaganda arm. So they had denial, then they went into anger. Didn't really have much time for anger because they were terrified because they know the part is over. Again, another comic book analogy, which is what this is very much like. There's this great part in Batman Year One by Frank Miller and Dave Mazzucchelli, where Batman, it's his first year Batman, they have all the criminals in Gotham City, they're having this big swanky dinner, and suddenly, boom, Batman blows out the window of the place they're eating, and he says, You have spent the many years dining on the corpse of Gotham. Something along those lines. Your meal is now over. So that's what these writers and artists are like. Who have spent years living off the corpse of comic books, and now their meal's over. So they didn't. So they not so much time for anger. They went straight into terror. Then bargaining again. Rhys Johnson, he was front and center with bargaining. He came up with this great plan. That's not going to work. How people can buy their comics digitally, and then when the companies start printing again, they can get their print copy as well. Yeah, again. Great idea. It's only started working 2 years ago. Mwah! You would have bet you had a point. But no, you're out of luck. So now he's in depression and acceptance. He's in the final stages of grief. And as we can see from this article that he posted today, because when people started getting these penciled down notices from the comic book companies, Ethan Van Sciver, who were again a victim of a targeted hate campaign to make it impossible for him to earn a living and die of starvation. When the people who did that started to get these pencil down emails, he was a little bit jubilant. And so Rich Johnson wrote this long article today pointing out what a meanie-pants that Ethan Van Sciver is. He's just a weenie pants. And I think it's a little bit hypocritical and disingenuous. Let me see if I can let me get the article open. Okay, so towards the beginning of the article, he says, a lot of comic book creators, especially those outside the big two, will be losing their gigs. Yes, he's finally understood this is the end. The party's over. This is the end of the direct market that he has acted as a gatekeeper for and made it. Basically was a major part of the movement that kept kept 50% of the audience away from comic books. Okay, so they're going to be losing gigs exactly mainly because of stuff that Rich Johnson did. Is it time for Ethan Van Sciver to show a little empathy to his fellow creators of all stripes? Really, Rich? When did you ever show empathy? When did you show empathy for somebody who doesn't agree with you? When did you show empathy for somebody who thinks that open borders, for example, is not a good thing? It's bad for your country. When did you ever show empathy? You never showed empathy for any of those people. You called them, the worst names on the planet. You never showed any empathy. So when Ethan Van Sciver, saw G. Willow Wilson, one of the ground zeros for these creators who created stuff that was just not sellable. I'm sorry. She was actually one of the better ones, I believe, but I really don't know. But creating. She got her pencils down email. She tweeted about it because these people live on Twitter and they tweet 24/7. He then was a bit jubilant. He said, His Holiness the Dalai, kind of funny tweet as well. His Holiness the Dalai Lama said there are many ways to Nirvana, but this is the quickest, pure ecstasy. Hashtag pencils down. SJW's hashtag Comicsgate. Yes, and you know what? He should be bloody happy. And this goes on and on and on, where he's genuinely very jubilant about the people who wished him ill, experiencing exactly what they wished on him. Then Rich Johnson takes exception that Ethan Van Sciver thinks the comic book industry should be a commercial entity, like a commercial art form, which it is. And he goes on and on and on. And again, this article, but it was not until the last couple of lines where it gets really, it bends the imagination. The last paragraph runs like this. Now, okay, firstly, in most of the article, in a couple of paragraphs, he's trying to say that this implosion of the industry isn't something new. Yes, it is. This is the end of the direct market. This is something new. There's nothing comparable to it before. Fine. None of this is new. Aside from the mean streak. Oh, really, Rich? What about your mean streak? What about your mean streak that you did a mile long and going back years and years and years? What about your mean streak? I don't think that's so bloody new. Do you? Ethan Van Sciver is a very talented and successful comic creator, and you can hear him like, bleh, wanting to vomit in his own mouth as he's saying it. With a business brain, that is true. A mobilized, outraged fan base. That's code for saying incels and racists. Enviable success. You definitely do envy his success. Monetizing it as many have before. Many have not monetized it that way before. And bringing a number of his friends along with him. Now, something that's always impressed me about EVS, about Ethan Van Sciver, is that how he holds out a helping hand to people lower on the ladder than him, people starting out. And you know what? It's Clint from Sweetcast. His book, I don't think will be anywhere near it would be without Ethan Van Sciver's help. Many of the people on the Comicsgate tag, they are incredibly grateful, and their books wouldn't be where they are without his help. So he's brought friends on and complete strangers. So and here's the line, which is pure BS. I'm saying it's lying. I'm saying he's absolutely lying. I wish him success. No, you don't. His success is like ashes in your mouth. I wish him success, and I'm pleased that he's found a way to achieve it without reliance on comic book publishers. No, you are gutted. You are being beside yourself. You are apoplectic. He's found a way to do it when he doesn't need you, where you don't have power over him, and that's what this pity party of an article is about. You crying that you've lost your power. And this last line goes, it doesn't actually have to be done while cocking a snook at everyone around you. Really? Well, maybe that's advice you could give to yourself, because I fail to remember when you had any such high morals, when you were actively colluding to destroy people's lives. So, I'm sorry that you're crying in your beer and the party's over. But you know what? Much like you, I was lying. I'm not sorry at all. My name is Celia Beckin, the Rabbi for Another Planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.